Tonight on CTV News.
It was a loud blast, woke us up from sleep.
Obviously, this is profoundly concerning and troubling.
Someone sets off an explosive device outside the office of a BC cabinet minister. Was it politically motivated? Also tonight.
I called them and they said, "You're deceased." I said, "You're talking to me."
Declared dead by the federal government. The problem is she's very much alive and not getting her pension. And
this says that the government can take away your medication without even consulting your medical team.
A call for compassion. Advocates chastise the BC government after coverage for a 9-year-old girl's life-changing medication was cancelled.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in North Vancouver, where an explosive device was set off outside the office of MLA Bowen Ma early this morning. The RCMP have shared few details about what they've uncovered so far, but we do know that no one was hurt. CTV's Ben Nesbitt joins us live from outside Ma's office. Ben, you spoke to people living nearby, and that explosion woke them up.
Yeah, Nafisa, it was not a very pleasant awakening for people. Around 2:45, this loud bang goes off. People in this neighborhood, there's plenty of condos, they were woken by this. They thought they were getting back to sleep. An hour and a half later, another bang. The police come in, and this building has been cleared, deemed safe. But now the big question looms, who did this and why?
Members of the BC RCMP's bomb squad worked diligently collecting evidence. 2 reported blasts awoke residents of this Lower Lonsdale neighborhood, one of them big enough to damage the door of the local MLA's office.
This morning at about 2:45, there was a loud blast, woke us up from sleep.
That blast that awoke Stuart Wilcock allegedly happened on West 1st Avenue, 1 block north of North Vancouver Lonsdale MLA Bowen Ma's office. Police say they found no evidence of an explosion on that street.
Then we went back to sleep. We kind of had a look, thought everything was fine. And then again at like about 4 a.m., a second blast.
Mounties say it was at 4:15 to be exact. The bomb and dog squad swept through the office at Chesterfield and Esplanade Avenues and deemed it clear and safe. Investigators say there's evidence some type of explosive device was set off, but won't say what. As of now, they aren't confirming that Ma was targeted.
That is something we're going to be looking at, see if this was specifically targeted at her office or was this in general. So we don't know, and those are the questions that are going to be answered, hopefully, through our investigation as it unfolds.
Nobody was hurt in the incident. In a statement, Ma said, "I am grateful to serve such a caring and compassionate community. I'd also like to thank the officers who responded for their diligence and professionalism. Due to the active police investigation, I will not be able to provide more details at this time."
This is profoundly concerning and troubling on a number of levels, for the safety of her staff and her team and people in the other retail spaces in the mall where that office is located, as well as obviously her safety.
The explosion caused some other NDP MLAs to close up shop for the day, while other politicians like Vancouver's mayor shared the animosity they've dealt with while in office.
I've had bomb threats, death threats. It seems like every other week there's a death threat. I've been physically accosted 3 times.
Members of the BC RCMP's Protective Services Unit have been called in to assist Ma. Mounties are asking anyone who is in this area between 2:30 and 4:30 in the morning who saw anything or who has video to reach out. Nafisa.
Ben Nesbitt live for us tonight in North Van. Thank you, Ben. A Vancouver woman grieving the loss of her husband is dealing with a bureaucratic nightmare. Her social insurance number has been deactivated and her pension payments have stopped. As CTV's Shannon Patterson reports, it's all because, in the eyes of the government, she's dead.
When June Miller's husband, Giorgio, passed away last September after 35 years of marriage, the grieving widow was left to file his final tax return.
They said, "We won't accept it online, you have to mail it in." I said, "That's okay, I can do that." So I put his and mine in the same envelope.
She was flabbergasted when her tax assessment arrived in the mail addressed to the estate of the late June Miller.
I called them and they said, "You're deceased." I said, you're talking to me, deceased. What are you saying? You have to change that. And they said, well, there's a process. You have to prove that you're alive.
Miller went to Service Canada in person and provided all her ID. The funeral home that took care of her husband wrote a letter confirming Giorgio is the one that died, not her. And her doctor wrote one too, saying June Miller is very much alive. But in the eyes of the federal government, she's dead.
Miller is newly retired, but she says without her Canada Pension Plan payments, she would have to return to work. And she can't do that because her social insurance number has been deactivated.
There was a point where I laughed, and I'm saying, Giorgio's up there, and he's laughing, going, oh, June, look at this mess you got yourself into. Then I was annoyed and angry because I'm talking and I'm repeating and I'm talking and I'm repeating and nobody's getting it at Canada Revenue.
In an email, the CRA said when Canadians are mistakenly declared dead, it is most often an issue with an actual deceased person's tax return, and it can usually be resolved quickly.
So I said, well, I really want you to help me because I don't want to be dead. My goal in life is to be 107, and they took that away a month ago.
The 65-year-old's been told her case is now before a review board.
They're going to review it and deem me alive or dead.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Still ahead tonight, U.S. President Donald Trump delivers another blow, announcing he's terminating all trade talks with Canada effective immediately. This latest curveball sparked by the forthcoming plans for a digital services tax. That's later on CTV News at 6. A homicide investigation is underway in Surrey after gunshots rang out at a home on 129th Street, leaving a man dead. CTV's Craig Krause reports from the scene.
Police responded to gunshots in this quiet Wally neighborhood Thursday evening at around 7:40, where they later found a man with life-threatening injuries. After trying to save his life, the man later died here at the scene. The Integrated Homicide Investigation Team has now taken over the case, and police believe this wasn't a random attack, but the motive remains under investigation. At this time, there have been no reports of suspects or arrests made. Many neighbors unwilling to speak on camera out of fear for their safety, but CTV News was shown surveillance video that captured the chaos. The neighbor saying the victim rammed his vehicle through a fence while alleged suspects fled. Another neighbor, still shaken from the night, says he heard between 12 and 15 shots fired.
It's like a war, right? And you think it's fireworks, and then you realize it's a gun shots. And first a few shots sounded like somebody was aiming because they were fired within like seconds of each other.
And police say this was the fourth homicide in Surrey this year, and now as the investigation is underway, iHit is asking anyone with information or dashcam video to come forward. Craig Krause, CTV News, Surrey.
And late this afternoon, iHit identified the victim as 21-year-old Bilal Hamid of Surrey. He is known to police. Calls to cap the salaries of politicians serving on Metro Vancouver's board are growing louder, with both municipal and provincial voices weighing in. With some mayors making more than senior cabinet ministers, it's an issue that's now under review. CTV's Isabella Zavarisi reports.
Some Metro Vancouver mayors' salaries are facing scrutiny again, this time by some city councillors who ran the numbers and found that in 2023, 7 mayors who sit on the Metro Vancouver board earned substantially more than provincial MLAs.
Minister of Health makes $183,000 a year, all in, and yet the mayor of Richmond, a mid-sized city, is making nearly $400,000, as is the mayor of Burnaby, Mike Hurley. So clearly there's something here that's askew.
The New Westminster councillor wants to see a compensation cap that would not exceed the salary of a cabinet minister, which is currently around $183,000. One Conservative MLA agrees.
I think this bit of entitlement has creeped in over time. It's just suddenly happened. It's just that the numbers now are getting so big, and with the pay raises they're getting, the numbers are getting so big now.
The board says it's doing its part Cabinet. On Friday, it implemented some recommendations from a Deloitte report, ending double pay for meetings longer than 4 hours and meeting fees while traveling on Metro Business. It also established a governance committee.
And this is actually best practice and good practice for us to establish a governance committee and to undertake this work. It shows that we're being responsible, we're being accountable to the taxpayers and the ratepayers of the region.
That committee will look into remuneration.
Mayor Brad West said he supported a cap on the salaries that's mentioned in the Deloitte report. Do you also share that as well? Do you support a cap?
I will support where the committee finishes up, and I'm not going to make any rash statements. It should be this or it should be that. The committee will look at all of that, and I will support the committee's recommendations.
The chair is confident the right decisions will be made. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Burnaby.
TransLink is expanding its battery electric bus fleet by more than 100 buses, thanks to a major investment from Metro Vancouver's board of directors.
We're scaling up from 19 to 178 buses. That is a massive expansion. It will save us millions in fuel costs and help us deliver reliable and sustainable service for our customers.
The newly allocated $479 million will go towards replacing aging diesel buses with new battery electric models. It will also help support the infrastructure needed to store and charge the fleet. Political pressure is mounting on BC's NDP government to reverse a decision that stopped the funding of a costly drug. The family of the young girl who's been receiving it says it's been vital to helping her manage a rare disease, even keeping her alive. CTV's Yvonne Raymond has the latest.
A week since Charlie Pollock's last publicly funded infusion to treat a rare disease, her family is spending time together while leaders around them add to their advocacy.
I am just absolutely appalled and heartbroken for the family, and also, as an electorate, I'm absolutely flabbergasted at the government's decision and choice to do this. I want for Charlie's medication to be reinstated immediately, and the government has the ability to do that.
Charlie's Conservative MP is calling on the Premier after the NDP government cut funding to the $800,000 drug. Jeff Kibble wants the child's full medical team included on any decisions related to her care and says he's written to the Federal Ministry of Health urging intervention. BC's Premier says the province has already been in touch.
The Minister of Health wrote to Health Canada. Health Canada did a review. They said that their protocol was up to date and included the latest research. And that is, I think, the appropriate course of action.
Come meet her. Redo your review. See her in person. She is not bedridden. She is not a vegetable. She is not a lost cause. All of this because of Bernera.
The founder of a patient advocacy group worries about the signal a case like this one presents.
It's upsetting for me because I do have a personal connection to it. I have 2 children who also have an ultra-rare disease that receive a biologic like Charlie does, but in a different way. And I feel this decision sets a very dangerous precedent for all children of rare disease, for anyone receiving a life-altering or life-sustaining medication. This says that the government can take away your medication without even consulting your medical team.
The Ministry of Health says clinical information from Charlie's doctor was part of the review. Her family remains adamant their terminally ill child has thrived with Bernera.
She has quality of life. You are going to rip that from her.
And their clock is ticking for another dose. Yvonne Raymond, CTV News.
Less than a year from kickoff of the FIFA World Cup at BC Place, preparations are in high gear for hosting the world's largest sporting event. As CTV's Ben Milger reports, the city and province have inked a deal with the 3 host nations to ensure the games provide a lasting legacy.
With several pen strokes from elected leaders of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations, the Premier and Mayor of Vancouver, the parties have promised to work together to ensure the next generation of First Nations people reap the benefits of next summer's World Cup.
We're a soccer community here, and we had nowhere to play.
Chief Wayne Sparrow hosted the signing ceremony on the soccer field at Musqueam, a legacy benefit of the 2010 Winter Olympics.
So now that we have a place for our kids to play, and that shows how when we come together, how sport brings us together, that we have the opportunity now for our kids to have a place.
Hundreds of thousands of tourists are expected to descend on the city for the 7 matches scheduled at BC Place. The province, the city, and the host nations are committed to making sure those visitors understand First Nations have lived here for thousands of years.
Work together to make sure this tournament reflects not only our best athletes, but the variety of cultures, histories, and people who call British Columbia home.
The Vancouver Whitecaps also took part in the ceremony and hosted a youth soccer camp. The agreement aspires to create many more such opportunities as the province prepares to welcome the world.
There's no doubt, even though how biased I am growing up here, we're going to host the best games the World Cup has ever seen.
The Premier says the province has approached FIFA about hosting more than 7 matches if any of the other 15 cities are unable to fulfill their obligations. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
This year's NHL entry draft got underway today. Did the Canucks make any big moves? But first,
expecting around 35,000 to 40,000 cruise passengers every weekend through late September.
Get ready for gridlock downtown. Thousands of cruise ship passengers will descend on the city this weekend. What it means for local businesses? When CTV News continues, stay with us. Welcome back. Vancouver is a popular port of call for cruise ships, and this weekend will be the busiest of the season as tens of thousands of passengers disembark at Canada Place. And the influx of tourists means big bucks for local businesses. CTV's Angelina Ravelli has more.
47,000 passengers will be coming through the Canada Place cruise terminal this weekend, arriving on 11 ships.
Cruise passengers spend, on average, $450 each on things like local tours, attractions, restaurants, hotels. So the economic impact here is truly significant.
The Port of Vancouver says that every cruise ship stopping here injects about $3 million into the local economy. But that's not just from tourists.
Cruise lines spend, on average, $660 million every year locally, and that's using local businesses and suppliers to conduct maintenance on their ship, do any sort of repairs in between trips.
It comes at a time where the country is experiencing a steady decline in visitors. According to Stats Canada, the country saw 9% fewer American tourists back in April. The restaurant industry also preparing for the busy weekend.
We double in size, so double the amount of people.
Tourists not only looking to grab a bite, but also looking to take in the scenery.
When you have a business that includes a very large waterfront patio, the cruise ships provide a significant amount of energy and a lot of foot traffic to our front door.
But the fan favorite this weekend?
Well, we're going on the hop-on, hop-off bus first thing.
Taking the hop-on, hop-off bus, the get-on and off buses,
the bus tour.
But it's not just this weekend. The port expects to see those elevated levels every weekend through late September, when they'll see some 35,000 to 40,000 cruise ship passengers making stops in the city. Angelina Ravelli, CTV News, Vancouver.
All right, Anne, what kind of weather can these 47,000 cruise ship passengers expect?
Well, lots of sunshine. They came at a great time today. Yes, on the cool side, we had a few sprinkles. Gray skies out there right now. Here's a look at temperatures across the lower mainland. We are dotted with 15 and 16s across the board, but things will heat up as we head into tomorrow. So overcast skies overnight, 13 degrees. Into tomorrow, we'll start off cloudy, but it clears up quite nicely. We'll see a high of 20 degrees, and it gets even hotter as we head into Canada Day.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
And warm and dry for the first few days of July. We were hoping for January. Doesn't look like July-uary either. Those details coming up.
How many portmanteaus can we make? Thanks, Anne. Well, after months of turbulent trade talks between Canada and the U.S., Donald Trump is walking away from the table.
We have all the cards. We have every single one. Economically, we have such power over Canada.
Why Trump is blaming one issue in particular for terminating the trade talks. A CTV News at 6 continues. A A new twist in Donald Trump's trade war today as Canada and the U.S. seek to reach a new economic and security agreement by mid-July. Now, Trump says he is terminating all trade talks with Canada immediately and putting the blame on Canada's controversial digital services tax. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
As the Prime Minister was hosting a virtual meeting to update his cabinet on U.S. trade negotiations, the President dropped a bombshell. On social media, Trump said because of Canada's digital services tax on American technology companies, he's terminating all discussions on trade with Canada, effective immediately.
We have all the cards. We have every single one. We don't want to do anything bad, but they have, economically, we have such power over Canada.
Speaking to CTV News after the Trump announcement, the Foreign Affairs Minister says the government is committed to continuing talks.
We will seek to have these unjustified tariffs removed, and that is the reason why we, because of the complexity of the negotiations, will not be having that conversation in public.
Tech companies that have revenues of more than $20 million, like Google, Meta, and Airbnb, are subject to the 3% digital sales tax. The first payment is due Monday. It's unclear if the Prime Minister knew this was coming, but in Brussels earlier this week, Carney spoke more cautiously about the progress of trade talks.
We'll do what's right for Canada. We're working hard to get a deal, but we'll accept the right deal with the United States. The right deal is possible, but it's nothing's assured.
Over the past several years, both the Biden administration and Trump have called the digital tax discriminatory against American companies. This former Deputy Prime Minister says the tax can be scrapped to save negotiations.
I think the digital services tax is expendable in the context of getting a trade negotiation settled with the United States. But I don't think that if you've got something in a negotiation that you're willing to give up, you don't offer that off the top.
For months, the government has been trying to get punishing U.S. tariffs on steel, aluminum, and autos removed and stave off future duties. Now Trump says he will tell Canada, along with other countries, what tariff rate it will pay. The Parliamentary Budget Officer estimates that the federal government would get more than $7 billion over 5 years with the digital services tax. Analysts say it's unlikely Donald Trump will return to the negotiating table without the removal or pause of this tax. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
The 2025 NHL draft is currently underway in Los Angeles, and the pick is in for the Vancouver Canucks. Mary Cranston is following this in the Breaking News Center.
Nafisa, Vancouver had the 15th overall selection in this year's draft, and just moments ago, we found out the newest member of the Vancouver Canucks.
The Vancouver Canucks are proud to select from the Seattle Thunderbirds, Braden Coates.
The Canucks selected Braden Coates with their first-round selection. The 18-year-old from Sherwood Park, Alberta, had 63 points in 60 games with the Seattle Thunderbirds last season. And a local player was also selected. The Pittsburgh Penguins drafted Coquitlam's Benjamin Kindle with their 11th pick and had 99 points for the Calgary Hitmen last season. Nafisa.
Thanks, Mary. There will be labor peace between the NHL and the Players Association through the 2029-30 season. The two sides have agreed to an extension of their collective bargaining agreement. It includes an expansion of the regular season from 82 to 84 games and fewer exhibition games. And neck guards will be mandatory for all new players entering the league starting in 2026. The deal still requires ratification. BC Mall owner Ruby Liu has taken over her first Hudson's Bay lease. She took the keys to the former Saks Off 5th store in Delta yesterday. She says the plan is to turn it into a cultural, tourist, and retail destination. Liu is trying to reach a deal to snap up as many as 28 Bay leases across the country. So far, she's only been able to take control of 3 leases of stores inside malls she already owns. Landlords for the other locations have opposed the takeover, saying Liu hasn't provided much of a plan for them. After more than 12 years and a championship with the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri has been fired as president. That story is coming up. Plus...
Canada!
Oh, Canada indeed. Why July 1st will be extra special this year for Ryan Reynolds. Be right back. Have a news tip, video, or photos of breaking news? From your screen to ours. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Email us at vantips@ctv.ca or text 10400. Dolly Parton is rocking out in a new genre, teaming up with Motley Crue to remake their 1985 power ballad, Home Sweet Home. Comes with a new video that mixes vintage clips of the Crue, shots of Parton in studio, and information about homeless youth. A portion of the proceeds from the song will support the Covenant House, an organization dedicated to helping young people facing homelessness. Turning now to a major shakeup in the sports world. Masai Ujiri is no longer the president and vice chair of the Toronto Raptors. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment announcing today it is parting ways with Ujiri. It comes as he was heading into the final year of his contract. We now know Ujiri was told he was being let go at the beginning of the month, but he was asked to stay on to help the team through the NBA draft. One league insider believes the move is about the bottom line.
This was a cost-cutting move, first and foremost. He was already one of the highest-paid executives in sports, if not the highest paid.
He joined the Raptors in 2013, eventually steering the team to its first and so far only NBA championship. In Hollywood, police are investigating a break-in at a home reportedly owned by Brad Pitt. The LAPD says 3 suspects broke into the multi-million-dollar property through the front window, ransacked the home, and fled with miscellaneous property. Pitt has been out of the country on a promotional tour for his movie F1, which is out in theaters today. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and journalist Lauren Sanchez have reportedly exchanged vows as part of their 3-day wedding celebration in Venice. Dozens of A-list celebrities departed a Venice hotel to make their way to the ceremony today, including Oprah Winfrey, Leonardo DiCaprio, and the Kardashians. The event has come under fire from local activists who say the opulence of the celebration comes as ordinary Venetians struggle with increases to tourism and the cost of living. Posting under her now married name, Lauren Sanchez Bezos shared this image from the ceremony. Celebrations are set to continue tomorrow. Actor Ryan Reynolds and musician Heather Rankin will both be invested as Officers of the Order of Canada during Canada Day festivities in Ottawa. Vancouver-born Reynolds is, of course, well known for playing the Marvel character Deadpool in a series of Hollywood blockbusters. Nova Scotia's Rankin has won 6 Junos with the Rankin family, in addition to numerous solo releases. The Order of Canada is the country's highest civilian honor. A touching tribute in Surrey wrapped up a short time ago with family and friends coming together to honor Chase de Ballenard with a fundraiser near and dear to his heart one day before what would have been his 16th birthday. The 15-year-old with autism was shot and killed after a confrontation with police earlier this year. This afternoon, a Freezy fundraiser was held in his honor in the Clayton Heights neighborhood where he lived. Supporters handing out frozen treats by donation, with proceeds going to the Terry Fox Foundation.
Chase really resonated with the Terry Fox Foundation, the Terry Fox. He was his hero, and he would donate as much as he could to that cause.
Well, Chase was a funny, smart, perfectly imperfect kid. He loved to prank people. He had the most generous soul.
Today's fundraiser was both a celebration of his life and a way to keep his memory alive through giving. Coming up, what's 5 feet long and triggered the evacuation of a provincial park? Well, it is a slithering surprise. That is still ahead. Plus,
it is our top-selling product right now.
In North America?
The Vancouver company with an unlikely hot seller, leashes for cats. Why it's big business, especially here in BC. Plus, Anne's full forecast is next.
What the hell? Where's a cat?
Yeah, that's a cat, all right. Thousands of them are now living their best 9 lives thanks to an accessory made by a local company that's skyrocketing in popularity. We'll have that story right after Anne's forecast, but first, a slithery surprise for some conservation officers on Vancouver Island. Sections of Miracle Beach Provincial Park in Comox were closed off yesterday after someone reported a boa constrictor had been lost in the area. Officers found the reptile rather quickly. I mean, it's not small, and they took it to the nearest SPCA. Now, due to the snake's length, the boa constrictor was determined to be a restricted reptile, meaning that while a permit is not required to own the creature, its release is strictly prohibited under all circumstances. I don't need to think about a snake running amok in a provincial park when I'm there, so I'm glad they caught that.
Yes, exactly. And it's a beautiful beach. We've camped there. Glad that snake wasn't there when we were there. All right, heading into the long weekend, things are going to heat up, Nafisa. Right now, still pretty cool, still pretty cloudy, all because of this system offshore, bringing in cloud coverage for us, active weather for the southern interior. It's going to bring in more rain for the north coast as we head into tomorrow. As you can see from our weather tracker, it is pretty wet right now along the north coast and central coast. As we head into the overnight, it tapers off, but then another round of wet weather moves its way in for tomorrow morning, continuing through tomorrow night. But for us along the south and the central interior, a ridge of high pressure will bring in clearer conditions and warm conditions as well. Speaking of which, here is that ridge moving its way in from south of the border. It's going to heat things up as we head into the long weekend, just in time for Canada Day. We will see temperatures close to 30 degrees, especially away from the water. You'll see a mix of sun and cloud for the central interior tomorrow. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Overcast conditions for Port Hardy, 14 degrees. You'll enjoy a mix of sun and cloud. 21 degrees for Campbell River and Comox. Partly cloudy skies from Tofino right down to Victoria, with the exception of Port Alberni. You'll see 22 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. A mix of sun and cloud for the Sunshine Coast with a high of 20. A touch warmer up the Sea to Sky Highway for Squamish at 23, and for us across the lower mainland, we will start off cloudy, but it does clear up quite nicely, and we'll see temperatures between 20 degrees near the water, 23 degrees further inland, and here's the sizzle moving its way in. Sunday, we'll see temperatures between 23 and 27. Into Monday, we say goodbye to June with temperatures between 25 and 29. Canada Today, same story. We'll see temperatures between 25 degrees near the water, 29 degrees inland, and then Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see a few clouds, temperatures between 22 and 23. Warming once again on Friday, mostly sunny skies and highs to 24 degrees. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So we need more rain, but we're not going to get it as we say goodbye to June and hello to July. Things are going to get very warm. So just reminders, stay cool, check on your neighbors, don't leave your pets in the car, and slap on that sunscreen.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be out and about this weekend in the heat.
Exactly.
Well, one of the hottest accessories for cats for years has gone to the dogs, but no more. Taking a cat out for a walk isn't just a fad. In fact, the kitty harness has become the #1 selling product for a Vancouver-based pet company. CTV's St. John Alexander has the story.
Probably just up from a quick nap, 4-year-old Findus is getting suited up for one of several daily promenades. As he makes his way out of the parking lot on a makeshift backpack, the Savannah sporting the latest in feline haute couture.
What the hell? Where's a cat?
Catches the admiration of passersby.
That means we're okay? You're not a dog, you're a cat, right?
Yes, he knows he's wearing a harness, but doesn't understand what all the fuss is about.
We put a leash on him when he was 3 months old. He didn't even notice.
Now the cat, with his own Instagram account, 515,000 followers and counting, knows the drill. If he wants to go paddleboarding, swimming, or snow pawing, the leash is just part of the deal.
Normally, everybody just smiles and says, you know, how cute it is and how great it is that my cat will never do that. To which I reply, well, you have to try.
Turns out a lot of people are. Vancouver-based RC Pets began making their Adventure Kitty harness in 2018 and have now sold nearly 500,000.
A lot of people live in less space now, and so being in an apartment is not a lot of space for a cat to roam and to live its true nature. So giving it a harness allows you to bring it just on a picnic that you go with them.
In fact, it's so popular, it's outselling similar products they make for dogs.
It is our top-selling product right now in North America.
Now remember, they are cats, and they will set the course, thank you very much.
They're not like dogs. They're not gonna follow you.
But we're told with a whole lot of patience, slowly introducing the leash, even an old-timer can be taught new tricks.
You know, we're sure happy to have him because he is an amazing adventurer.
St. John Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
Now I've seen everything. Well, we made it. It's almost the weekend, and that means your Friday feel-goods are coming up. Plus,
super special, just for the organization and for the fan base, and you see it here today. Like, it's just amazing.
what a party in Abbotsford. How the Calder Cup winning Canucks celebrated their big win with the fans. Plus, cruise connection. Adam finds out how an unusual honeymoon led to an unexpected connection on a cruise ship. That is coming up on the Sawatsky sign-off. Right now, a preview of CTV Morning Live.
Well, what is it about Canada that makes you most proud? Monday on CTV Morning Live, a patriotic poll from our democracy to the armed forces to hockey, what Canadians say shapes our identity. Plus, how organizers of one of the biggest July 1st parties in the province are preparing for a wave of Canadian pride. And we're learning how to bake a Canadian coastal classic. We'll see you Monday morning.
News, weather, and traffic. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, weekdays 6 to 9.
The soundtrack to The Wizard of Oz has been given a modern makeover ahead of its residency at the Las Vegas Sphere. Technology has come a long way since the 1939 classic song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The soundtrack was originally recorded in mono, but it's been re-recorded for the Sphere. The Wizard of Oz Atmosphere opens August 28th. It's party time in the Fraser Valley as the Abbotsford Canucks celebrated their Calder Cup victory with the fans that cheered them on the whole way. CTV's Martin McMahon has more from the Abbotsford Centre.
A hero's welcome for the Abbotsford Canucks as they arrived at their home arena. Hockey fans from around the Lower Mainland thrilled to take part in a celebration of the team's Calder Cup win.
It's super special, just for the organization and for the fan base, and you see it here today. Like, it's just amazing, and just hoping it kind of translates to future years and to the Vancouver Canucks as well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You get to watch hard-fought hockey like 20 minutes away from where you live. It's great, you know, wherever you are, you can go see them play.
It's lost for words, but it's quite amazing. So, I don't know, hopefully we can see another one with the big club, so we'll see.
It comes after the Canucks secured the Calder Cup on the road in Game 6 against the Charlotte Checkers on Monday.
For the first time in franchise history, the Abbotsford Canucks are Calder Cup champions!
And given that road victory, extra incentive to party in Abbotsford in front of a grateful home crowd. Captain Chase Waters entering Abbotsford Centre like a rock star. Hockey fans reaching out to touch the Calder Cup, knowing how elusive championships have been in this market. And towel power on full display.
So proud of those boys. First
franchise win. It's big for Canada. This is really big.
With hopes, this win is a preview of success for the big club in the seasons to come. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Abbotsford.
Well, the gang is all here, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
It is time for Friday Feel Goods, a weekly roundup of unique events happening in Metro Vancouver, and here are 3 things worth checking out. and hop on your bike on Saturday for the 4th annual Costco Grand Fondo. The 120-kilometer route, wow, includes stops at 6 different Costcos across the Lower Mainland where riders can refuel with hot dogs while also dressed as them. The shenanigans kick off 8 a.m. at Vancouver City Hall.
That is a true.
And after an active Saturday, you can sit back Sunday at the Royal City Curling Club and watch a roller derby showdown. 2 back-to-back games featuring 4 local teams will kick off at noon. There will also be halftime entertainment by the tribute artist known as Molly the Great Canadian Diva and the Rolla dance team. It's all by donation.
Right around the outside. 2 fun things. Hot dogs and roller derby.
I like hot dogs.
Not too bad at all.
That's great hot dogs.
Well, let's go dancing then. A silent disco parade is being held in downtown Vancouver for Canada Day. More than 200 people attended the last time. One was held in 2019. All you have to do is bring your earbuds and get ready to dance in the streets to a curated playlist. This event is booze-free and will last a couple of hours, but you have to sign up to learn where and when it starts.
It's a secret.
Well, hopefully it doesn't rain.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't rain.
It won't.
It's going to be nice.
Yes.
If you have any events you would like to highlight, you can email your tips to ctvfeelgoods@ctv.ca. You know what makes me feel good is a panda story, but this is actually not a happy panda story. It was a tearful goodbye to 4 beloved giant pandas in Japan before they head back to China. Ralhin and her 3 daughters were born at Adventure World in Wakayama, where they have become a fixture among locals and tourists alike. Emotions ran high as hundreds of people lined up to wish those pandas farewell, some even camping out overnight to be among the first to catch their final appearance. China owns the animals and is bringing them home as part of a long-standing conservation agreement.
Popular pandas.
Well, finally, a cruise from Vancouver turned into the start of something beautiful for a couple finally celebrating their honeymoon who formed an unexpected connection with a Surrey family on tonight's Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Ever since their first date, Anna and Russ Hudson have been inseparable.
Everywhere we go, we're holding hands.
Yeah, we even hold hands when we're watching TV.
Despite being in their 70s, the couple's young at heart.
At some point, we'll get old enough, we'll be holding each other up.
When Anna and Russ first met in their 60s, neither was expecting to find love. But life had other plans.
Oh my gosh, love still exists.
After 4 years of courting, they got around to marrying, but decided to postpone the honeymoon.
And every year we kept saying, you know, we'll do it next year. We'll do it next year.
But then they began losing friends and family to death or dementia.
We realized, what are we doing? What are we waiting for?
So Russ booked a cruise, and Anna ordered a pair of T-shirts that said, "Honeymoon Cruise Finally," only 13 years later.
And my dad goes, "Oh my gosh, like those shirts are so cute."
Danny Bay and her family were on the same cruise, happened to sit next to Anna and Russ at dinner, and formed an instant connection.
They radiated such beautiful, welcoming, warm energy.
The feeling was mutual. So after meeting multiple times on the cruise, they all agreed to stay in touch after.
Feels like we've known them forever.
Although they live in different cities, they talk frequently, visit regularly, and in the years since they've met, become family.
I didn't grow up with grandparents that I could vent to or cry to or get advice from.
So, seeing as Danny and her sister's grandparents live on the other side of the world, and Russ and Anna met too late to have granddaughters of their own, they've become that for each other.
It makes me feel peace and like I belong in the world.
They have brought so much joy to Anna and I.
So although it's never too late to find that love you never want to let go of, it's never too soon to connect with the people you can share it with.
Well, for one thing, love is never old. Love is always there and can expand and be surprising and bring the most wonderful gifts.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Sydney.
Oh, they were all meant to meet on that cruise.
I think the love is keeping them young.
Yeah.
They're so vital. I love that.
I know, in their 70s. They look amazing. All right, just in time for the Canada Day long weekend. Take a look at this scenic snapshot. The Canada flag flying high in White Rock. Thanks, Marilyn, for sending this picture in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
CTV News continues online anytime at ctvnewsvancouver.ca. Stick around and say hi to Mary at 11:30. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay hydrated out there.